Have you ever gone camping before? Do you know what is expected from you in that setting? What is good advice for a first-time camper? I know it can be quite boring to go through a long list of do's and don'ts, but usually when we find ourselves in a new situation, it's good to know what is expected of us, and it's like having a roadmap. We know what to do and where to go. So for example, the do's of camping. Number 1, do arrive before sundown. That's usually a good idea. Number 2, do pick an easily approachable campsite. Number 3, do check your camping essentials. Did you forget anything? Number 4, do make a copy of the itinerary. What about the don'ts of camping? Number 1, don't leave food in the open. We don't want any animals right there. Number 2, don't litter on the campsite. Number 3, don't create a new campsite. Number 4, don't have a negative attitude. And number 5, don't wear 100% cotton outfits. It takes too long to dry. Paul also gives us the do's and don'ts of Christian behavior. In Ephesians 4, verse 31 and 32 says, "Stop being mean, bad-tempered, and angry. Quarreling, harsh words, and dislike of others should have no place in your lives. Instead, be kind to each other, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, just as God has forgiven you, because you belong to Christ." The first thing that's mentioned in the list of don'ts is bitterness. An embittered person is in a state of continual antagonism to his fellow brothers and sisters, and therefore there's no unity with them. The next is rage, which refers to a momentary, furious and excited state of mind, as well as a permanent condition of resentment and enmity. Very different from the word anger that we just read about. Next on our don't list is loud quarreling, kind of like when the Pharisees and Sadducees did when discussing the doctrine of the resurrection. Another don't is evil speaking or slander, which usually ruins the reputation of others. And so far, all these don'ts disturb the unity that believers are supposed to have. They raise barriers between brothers and sisters. Remember that downward spiral we were talking about a few days ago? Well, listen to this one. Bitterness soon becomes a passionate and explosive wrath. Wrath merges into a persistent anger. Anger leads to brawling, and brawling is always accompanied by abuse or slander. And all of it springs from a satanic malice lodged in the hearts of men. All of them are to be put away. They are part of the works of the flesh. Thankfully, Paul tells us what to do instead. It's so hard to stop doing something if we don't replace it with something new and different. So here's his list of do's. Be kind. The popular saying states, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. This is one of the fruit of the Spirit, and it makes such a difference in a person's life. Kindness is the opposite of malice. Another do, be tenderhearted or compassionate. That means be sensitive to the needs or weaknesses of others or to situations of injustice. A callous indifference to suffering is wholly incompatible with the Christian spirit. Another do, be forgiving. Kindness and tenderheartedness profit little unless they are given expression in the forgiving spirit. Kindness may be merely a kind of courtesy or politeness if it is not willing to take the step of forgiveness. The forgiving spirit is more than an ideal or even a virtue. It's an attitude of heart and soul. And undoubtedly, Jesus Christ is the only example we should follow wholeheartedly, and he modeled the forgiveness, kindness, and compassion we need to imitate. That is our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.